Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Let's do another episode. The Minecraft session servers are down right now, so I can't do what I had planned to do this afternoon. So let's do a single player world episode. We have plenty of ingots, we have plenty of diamonds, plenty of everything except I overlooked one thing, and that's rubber. So I added rubber to the farm, and it's been running for about an hour or so. We don't really have that much, but I think it's enough to do what we need to do. I made a bunch of patterns for all of the industrial craft stuff. At least that's what I started on. Machine blocks, stuff like that, generators. What I really need to do is I need to make a couple of induction furnaces. Nothing is cooking fast enough. We still have dust in the system, and the quarry finished a long time ago. Pulverizers are faster than macerators. Powered furnaces, not so much. So here's what I want to do. I want to make some export buses, and I want to make some generators. I want to dedicate one induction furnace to cooking wood into charcoal. And then I want to dedicate another one to actually cooking the dusts of processors or whatever. And I better go ahead and make a couple of these because we're definitely going to need them. So I have a generator pattern. We'll see if we can pull off 10 of those. Should be relatively easy. It might take just a minute. And we're going to need a compressor because we have to make carbon plates and we have to make advanced alloy. I've already put in the patterns for the mixed metal ingots and the raw carbon mesh. So all we really have to do is compress it. I think I even have a compressor pattern. So let's put this on our old bat box. Probably been here since a live stream a long time ago. So what we'll need to do is we'll go ahead and we'll compress about 10 of these, and we'll do about 10 advanced alloys as well. And actually it's mix. And these are going to take a little while because this thing is pretty slow. And it doesn't matter what order we do them in, it's going to be about the same amount of time. So let's make a stack of this. The recipe I like to use for this is with a force ingot. Actually, no, not this one. For the circuit, it's a force ingot. You get two circuits per recipe instead of just one with refined iron. So let's get our generators, and we're going to need some export buses, and these can just be basic. Doesn't need to happen that fast. We're probably also going to need some more ME cable, and I've hollowed out a room downstairs. Let's see how much of this stuff we have. Yeah, not nearly enough. We'll see if we can make a stack. I've hollowed out a little room down here. We can just hook up everything to the molecular assembler chamber as far as the cabling goes on this side, the ME cable. As long as it's connected to the network, it'll be fine. So what I want to do is I want to put the actual machines, they're going to be in a wall right here, kind of like the wall right there that I haven't built yet. But I want to put the machines right here, and then I want to put all of the power back here somewhere. And we can probably just line these up. Like so. Let's make sure I'm not on area mode. And AE is smart enough. You used to have to insert the fuel into the bottom of these, but you don't anymore if you do it with AE. But I like to put the cable underneath it anyway, or the stuff. We're gonna have to turn all these around. Well, I guess not. We'll only have to turn one of them around. That's good. And then I want to set all these to charcoal, and I've already put some in the system, only about a stack. It's not going to fill all of these up, but once we get some more charcoal cooking, it shouldn't be a problem, because that induction smelter works really fast. And I know a lot of people like to use geothermal, and I like it too, but I wanted to do something, I wanted to do a little differently, basically, because, you know, I've used geothermals a lot in the past. It's really good when you start out, because it's fairly reliable. And look at that timing. Alright. So we'll throw those in there because we're going to need them in there for the pattern. And I probably should have moved the compressor already, but it's no big deal. As soon as we get 2 of these, we can actually go ahead and make the induction smelter. Induction furnace. Ever since thermal expansion, I started calling it the induction smelter. And I really wish I had the other advanced machines, the singularity compressor, the rotary macerator, because those are super fast. They don't use, I think they use less energy than the overclocked versions. I guess I didn't make that pattern yet. No big deal. I probably didn't make it because I couldn't make the advanced machine block yet. Alright, so let's see if we can make this. Alright, it got hung up on the electric furnace. I forgot to make the electric furnace recipe. Alright, induction furnace, there we go, and we're going to just put it right here. Yep. So we're going to run our glass fiber cable on top of these. And I'm debating whether or not to put a bat box in between here and the machines. We're going to generate plenty of power, but I think it's probably not a bad idea. So how about this? Let's force wrench these guys. We'll throw down the bat box and the compressor where it needs to go. And I like to leave 2 spaces in between these guys because for input-output purposes with the import buses and export buses. Alright, so that's good. And then from here, I actually want to go underneath. That's just the way that I do it. And let's spin that guy around. The reason I like to put this cable underneath is because you can put facades on ME cable. You cannot put facades on glass fiber cable, to my knowledge. So basically, this ME cable will actually run over here like this and probably go underneath this stuff. Yep, and then we'll put probably an import bus on the back of that one, or on the side. Doesn't really matter. What matters is we get this cable connected so that all of these guys have power. I guess my bat box is out, which makes sense. And once we throw the charcoal back into the system, all of these guys should get charcoal. So now these guys both get power. This one we're going to need to keep a redstone signal on. So unfortunately, let's do this. We will reroute that cable just a little bit so we can put a redstone torch back here, because I don't have any facades at the moment. I don't believe. I haven't made them yet. So we want to keep that guy spun up all the time, because it takes it a long time to get to 100%. And I suppose while we are letting it warm up, go ahead and throw a couple stacks of logs in there. So what we're going to need for both of these, we're going to need an import bus for both. We're going to need an export bus, probably a precision, and we're going to need an interface. So let's make 2 of those. We'll make 2 of those. And basic import buses work just fine for me for both of these things. So we'll hook those up like that, and then we will put a cable here. And then our interface will go on top right there, so we'll need a cable there. We're going to have an interface there, and we're going to have the export bus on this side. So we'll need cable here, cable there, and that should almost do it. One right there. Alright, 2 export buses. Don't know what the holdup is on the other stuff. Probably processors, I imagine. Nope, it says it's done. It may have reset. Whenever you break a cable or place a cable on the network, it resets the entire network, so whatever you're crafting stops. Which I learned the hard way. Alright, so interface. I don't know if there's something we always need to compress or not, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. While we're actually doing this, let's also make an extractor, which I believe I made a pattern for, because I need to put the rubber wood in the extractor all the time. So before I forget, whoops. Oh, do I have my import bus? I do. Okay. I thought I forgot my import bus over there. So give me one more precision export bus. and some of this. And this doesn't have to go on top, but it's okay that it does. So that will now extract all of the rubber. I'll probably also put resin in that pattern as well, instead of sending it over here. And what we can now do with this dust is we can send the dust to that furnace, which you can already see, you know, it's warmed up. A, it cooks 2 things at a time. B, it's so much faster than a powered furnace. This is only 50%. You can see how fast the thing's going. So the other thing we're going to need to do, and I don't think I'm going to do it right now, we'll probably do it next episode, we're going to need to make a mass fabricator. Well, we don't need to, I guess, but I want to. I want to use solar, but I don't want to use the I don't want to use the arrays. I just want to go straight to the ultimate hybrids. So I'm not even going to bother with low voltage, medium, or high voltage solar arrays. I just want to go straight to the ultimate. So let's do this. This turns into that. And that turns into this. And that goes in the compressor. So now whenever we call for a carbon plate, it will actually take the pulverized coal dust, whatever you want to call it, make the mesh, send it to the compressor to get compressed. Same thing with advanced alloys and mixed metal ingots. And I think I have some patterns in here. We can get rid of that one because we're not going to cook that anymore. And I could put the processors in glass over there, but I think I'll just wait on that because that's not something that happens all the time. It's a fairly rare occurrence for the most part. I was hoping to get some more some different types of dust. So we don't have gold, we don't have ferrous, we don't have copper. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all of these in here. The only one we're missing is iron. I think that is all done already. So all of those dust will always go. It's actually split right now between the induction furnace and the 2 powered furnaces, which is no big deal. This is just kind of to help out. If we need to, we'll add another one. I was going to make 2, but I don't really think it's necessary since next time I run a quarry, this will actually keep up. So while we're doing this, I don't think I have enough structure pipe. Nope. Let's go ahead and make a little bit. Because I want to cook up a few facades and go ahead and start putting them around the base. So to make a facade, you take the structure pipe, which is just a cobblestone pipe filled with gravel. I still have these things in here. You put it in here with whatever you want to make out of it. This is a pipe plug. I think it's good for preventing pipes from connecting. And I bet that I disconnected that because the lasers draw energy constantly, whether you're doing anything or not. It takes a relatively small amount of energy to make the facades as compared to a lot of the other things you have to make with this. But like I said, they go If you place them wrong, they will go sideways. The cable still works, so in this case, if I don't know how it's going to place. If I put it, yeah. Unfortunately, if you break it, you actually break the cable it's connected to. So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna break that one right now because I don't want to have to fix it yet. But you can put it on here. You can put it on like that so that it looks like the cable is coming out of the floor. And we'll put a couple over here as well. This is why I like to do this like this, because you can basically hide all the machines. And if you click on anywhere there is an import bus, export bus, whatever, you can still click and interface with it if you know it's back there. So you don't have to run behind to click on everything. You can click it from this side. As long as you don't have, probably as long as you don't have a facade in your hand. I don't think it'll matter since you probably can't put a facade on a facade. That looks like it's popping it off and placing it. Alright, enough horsing around. So that's really, as far as automatically processing stuff, that should be all we need for now. Next episode, what I think we'll do is we'll make about 10 recyclers and a generator to power them, or we may just tap off of this energy. And oh, I forgot, I'm gonna need to make one of these to dedicate to charcoal. I'll do that after the episode. I'll just use the same principles here. I'll use an export bus, an import bus, and just use it to cook up the logs. But what I want to do is make about 10 or so recyclers for scrap, and probably igneous extruders to make cobblestone to recycle, and then we should generate some scrap for the mass fabricator. And then all we have to do is figure out how we're going to power the mass fabricator. We can do it with any sort of EU, doesn't really matter. I just haven't decided what we're going to do yet. So that'll do it for this episode, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.